What's good? The fuck? What's good, Freedom March, Freedom Family, Freedom Fighters, and Freedom Lovers? How y'all doing this fine morning? It is Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, and I'm on my way to work. So I got a few minutes. I got about 20 minutes. I can come on here and talk about this breaking development in the sport of boxing. Get right into it. So apparently, Ryan Garcia, the young man who beat Devin Haney on April 20th, has tested positive, according to VADA, for ostarine and Mandralone. All right, the Mandralone apparently was inconclusive, but I think it ended up coming back conclusive. I'm not sure, but he definitely tested positive for ostarine on two different occasions that we know of: the day before the fight and the day of the fight. Now, people are like, well, if he tested positive the day before the fight, why did they let him fight? Well, he didn't listen. The test sample was given on the Friday, right? And he gave another sample on Saturday. It takes time for the results to come back, right? They're not using that field test where they take the little strips and they dip it in the piss. No, it has to be, they want it to be irrefutable. So they're going to take it to the lab and they're going to run tests that way. They're not just going to dip a stick in a goddamn pee, right? So the results didn't come back on Friday and Saturday. That's when he gave the samples, all right? So the sample of the day before tested positive and the sample of the day of tested positive. That's how it works. That's how it worked with, what's her name? Alicia Baumgardner, after she fought Michaela Mayer, right? She tested positive the day before, with the day before sample, but she tested negative the day after, right? And she was able to fight it, contest it, and I think that it was taken out. I think it was something, it had something to do with something. I don't know exactly, but she was essentially cleared of testing positive for drugs, for performance-enhancing drugs. Ryan Garcia tested positive twice for ostarine and Mandralone, okay? So now, from what I'm hearing, I don't know how true this is, but somebody close to the Haney camp, right? 7-8 Sports TV said that they knew 3 weeks before the fight that Ryan tested positive for PEDs. Now you take multiple tests, right? If you sign up for VADA testing, you don't test the day before and the day of. You test a few weeks before the fight as well, because they feel like, well, most people are going to try to get it out of their system about 3 weeks before the event. So boom, we're going to test you guys a few weeks before the contest, whether it be whatever sport you're being tested for. So now he's saying that they knew 3 weeks before the fight, that Ryan tested positive. Now, if that's the case, that's a big problem. Apparently he's saying that it was covered up by whoever. That's a big problem, because Ryan Garcia could have killed Devin Haney that night. He came in 3 pounds heavy on the day of the weigh-in, and he was much heavier on the day of the fight. He had much more opportunity to rehydrate to an ideal weight and to an ideal condition, and he had the advantage. He knew he had the advantage. He deliberately came in to have the advantage. So we know that Ryan Garcia is a willing cheater. He knew that, right? Now, say what you want about Devin accepting the fight anyway. Okay, he did that. But he did not know that Ryan Garcia was hot for performance-enhancing drugs. Now, me, myself, I had a feeling, and I'm not surprised, right? Now, he still has an opportunity. He has 10 days to submit a B sample and, you know, see what happens with that. I don't know if he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it, because let me tell you why. Because Alicia Baumgartner did give a B sample. Now, when Alicia Baumgartner got pissed hot, you know what she did? She said, "Oh, this shit ain't true at all. No, this ain't happening. This is not going down." Right? I have taken nothing that would have me piss hot for performance-enhancing drugs. Right? Let me tell you what Ryan Garcia did. He did the same thing Canelo Alvarez did. He did the same thing. What's his name? Fury did. Tyson Fury did. He blamed it on something else. He said he took something that could mimic ostarine or Mandralone. He said he took ashwagandha. Okay? He said ashwagandha is what had him pissing hot for PEDs. Now, if he was going to give a B sample, now I don't know, he might still give a B sample, but if you know that taking a certain amount of, so you say, can have you test hot, right? Have enough in your system to test hot for ostarine, then you know when you give the B sample, you're still going to be testing positive. So what are you doing? You're saying, "Oh, I took a bunch of ashwagandha. Oh, the ashwagandha did it." So now, if you do test positive when you give the B sample, you're going to say, "Well, it was ashwagandha." That's the same thing what Canelo did when he said, "Oh, it was Mexican beef." It's the same thing that Tyson Fury did when he said, "Oh, it was donkey balls," right? But this tells me that you already had a cover story, right? I don't believe you. You need more people. Because how much beef do you have to eat to test positive for whatever? I forgot what Canelo tested positive for 2 different times. Well, how many donkey balls do you have to eat to test positive for whatever Tyson Fury tested positive for? How much ashwagandha do you have to take to test positive for ostarine or Mandralone? Now, I never heard about ashwagandha having anything to do with, you know, increasing levels of this substance. I've never heard of that. So I don't know what ashwagandha could have you be testing hot for. You know what I'm saying? But it stands to reason. If Ryan Garcia feels that his test should not come back negative, he would not need to say that he took something that could mimic the substance he tested positive for. Now, it's not just one substance. It's 2 substances. If you test positive for 2 substances, well. Now, there are certain supplements that you can take that has that has certain levels of ostarine in it, but you're not going, you know, you're not going to have it's not going to be a high enough dose to get a high enough concentration of ostarine that you would need to test positive. Same thing with Mexican beef. All right, you would have to eat a shitload of that particular Mexican beef to get a high enough dosage to test positive for whatever it is. And the donkey balls, bull balls, whatever the fuck Tyson Fury said he ate, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, one Ryan Garcia dick rider by the name of Southpaw TV, he's a YouTuber. Of course, he's still on his knees sucking Ryan Garcia off, right? Now, Southpaw TV, or who I like to call southsus, has been known to blast fighters for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. He blasted Canelo. He blasted Tyson Fury, right? I mean, just it has no respect for them as fighters because they tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Ryan tests positive. He doesn't even wait for the B sample. He doesn't even wait for this or that. And he's saying, oh, well, it ain't true, ain't this and that. And then he tries to say that the Haney's or Eddie Hearn had influenced the test and all this other shit. Excuse me. And he's also saying that Devin Haney is a victim, and he has no idea whether those are actually true or not. I have no idea if they're actually true. All we know is he tested positive for ostarine. He has an opportunity to give the B sample, but he's saying that he tested positive because he took ashwagandha, which, you know, if you have to do that, then I'm saying, well, guess what, bro? I don't believe you. I'm leaning more towards you having taken performance-enhancing drugs, although I don't know for a fact. You understand what I'm saying? You saying you took ashwagandha caused you to test positive? Listen, when you are participating in these drug-tested sports, you have people in you that know what you should and should not consume in order for you to not test positive for performance enhancing drugs during VIDA testing. Ryan Garcia is worth tens of millions of dollars. And you mean to tell me you don't have people in your camp that can tell you, no, you shouldn't take that, you shouldn't take this. You don't have a nutritionist that has the ability and the knowledge to tell you what you should and should not consume? Now people are calling Devin Haney a drug cheat. Tank Davis accused Devin of taking performance enhancing drugs because he's in the snack program. All right, because he's on the snack program, and the snack program is not just about supplements. It's also about strength and conditioning. So that's where he gets his strength and conditioning from. But people are accusing Devin Haney, who never tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug, of being a drug cheat because he's on the snack program and because he whooped the shit out of Regis Program, who is now being a sucker. Regis Program is being a sucker now because he got his ass whooped by Devin Haney, and Devin Haney got his ass whooped by Ryan Garcia, so he feels like he can come out and start shitting on Devin Haney. Funny how that works. But he's not calling for a rematch with Devin Haney, though is he? Right? So, Ryan Garcia tests positive. 2 different tests for performance-enhancing drugs, and you motherfuckers come flying out of the motherfucking woodwork copping pleas for this clown. I'm not gonna cop pleas for him, and I'm not gonna say he's guilty. Not yet. Not till it's conclusive. But I do have an opinion based on facts and based on common sense. Right? If I wanted to create an excuse, if I knew that I tested positive, if I knew I was taking performance enhancing drugs, I would have, guess what? I would have all kind of purchase receipts for supplements like ashwagandha. Right? I would say, I would just buy, I would be able to create a paper trail of me just having a shitload of ashwagandha, just buying a whole shitload of it. Because I know, because people in my camp, they know, you take this performance enhancing drug, you can also take this. This is also going to mimic this performance enhancing drug. Now you have the receipts that show that you have bought all this ashwagandha, so that when you test positive, you can say, hey man, it was an ashwagandha, boom, I got receipts. Otherwise, if you were to test positive and you actually didn't take this performance enhancing drug, I wouldn't have to say nothing about ashwagandha. I would just say, hey, there must be some mistake. There must be some mistake. Let's run that back. Let's run that test back. But he can't do that. He can't say, nah, it ain't no motherfucking way. Like Alicia Baumgartner did. Alicia Baumgartner didn't say, oh, I ate this, I ate that, I took this, I took that. No, she said, ain't no motherfucking way. And besides, there was some little off with her test. You test positive the day before, you test negative the day after. B sample comes out positive, you fight it, boom, you're clear. But no, that doesn't work with some people, right? That doesn't work. Canelo will forever have a stain on his record of being a drug cheat. Tyson Fury will always have a stain of being a drug cheat on his record. And I agree with that. I agree with that. Mexican beef, donkey balls, I don't buy it, right? I don't buy it. Because guess what? Their B samples and all this other shit, they never contested it, you know what I'm saying? Or nothing like that. It just was what it was. But they're still fighting. They're still in the ring. They're still, you know what I'm saying? And the bad thing about it is, a boxer just died last weekend. You understand what I'm saying? Just died. So, and the fighter that killed him didn't even test positive for performance-enhancing drugs. So every time you step in that ring, you are putting your life on the line. And this motherfucker, Ryan Garcia, not only decides to come in 3 pounds overweight, but he never intended on making the weight. And he never did. He knew for months that he wasn't going to make the weight. But did he give Devin Haney the heads up like he gave motherfucking Duarte? No, he didn't. He gave Duarte the opportunity to renegotiate the contract and say, hey, man, we're going to come in at 143. Bada boom, bada bing, we're going to make it happen. Didn't do that for Devin. Let Devin dehydrate and drain himself down to 140 pounds. He never intended to come in at 143 or 140. You know what I'm saying? The day the official weigh-in, and when he came in over the first time, he said, no, I ain't gonna try again. Why? Because he wanted to start hydrating immediately. He wanted to start rehydrating immediately. Get as much weight on as possible. Get as much water in his system as possible. Get his glycogen stores up. Y'all have no idea how advantageous it is to have your glycogen stores full. You have your glycogen stores full, hey man, you in tip-top shape. You know what I'm saying? Your muscles are primed. Your muscles have the energy it needs to perform. And all that power, all that speed, your glycogen stores, hey, where do you think your muscles get the energy from? Where do you think you get the energy from? To keep going, to keep pushing, to stay strong for longer periods. But if you don't have the opportunity to refill your glycogen stores all the way, well, you're still, guess what? Your brain is still going to be dehydrated, because that's the last thing to rehydrate. Your muscles going to fill up first. You know, your heart's going to get it, you know, certain organs. And your brain is sacrificing itself to make sure all your other organs are working properly and getting all the glycogen it needs, getting all the water it needs, and then it takes it up. Because this is how it operates. So on top of you coming in overweight by 3 pounds, never intending on trying to get down to the proper weight, saying, nah, I ain't even gonna try. You start to hydrate mad early, right? And then on top of that, you're testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Once you show yourself as a cheater, you're always a fucking cheater. So when I find out you're also a drug cheat, or when they say you're a drug cheat, I'm gonna believe it. Because guess what? You already cheated with the weight. Yes, he cheated. Now, did Devin Haney go ahead with the fight? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But Devin Haney had no idea that it would be, not only would Ryan be able to rehydrate completely and have full glycogen stores and full energy and full power, he didn't know that he was also going to fucking have performance enhancing drugs in the system. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then they turned this into a religious thing, right? Oh, Ryan Garcia, you know, oh, he had Jesus on his side. He had, you know, oh, he was on God's plan. Oh, God came and saved the day and all this other shit. When in reality, it might have just been ostarine. Ostarine came and saved the motherfucking day. That motherfucker was on ostarine. It wasn't Jesus. It was ostarine and no Mandralone. Because no man, no real man, would come into a contest with a completely unlevel playing field and possibly kill their opponent, and increasing the chance of killing your opponent. And you don't give a hot fuck because you say you're on God's plan. Well, let me ask you a question. Would God appreciate a man who says he's fighting in his name, who says that he has Jesus on his side? Would God be okay with that man telling somebody that he's going to put his dick in their mama's mouth? Right after he says, Jesus, let me put a dick in your mama's mouth. Is that what we're going with here? I've seen some of these religious channels, right? In shorts, right? You know, you got these religious channels, they come on and on YouTube and on TikTok and Instagram, and they have these shorts and they're talking about this, that, and third, and saying, you see what you can do with Jesus on your side. Well, guess what? Now they're using Ryan Garcia as a Jesus representative. I wonder how they're going to feel when they find out that this. Would Jesus be okay with you cheating? Is that what we're going with? You got to ask yourself that question. Now, me, myself, I'm just going to say we got to find out, right? We got to wait and see. We got to see, you know, if these results are conclusive. Now, according to the test, they are conclusive. The Mandralone, not necessarily conclusive, but the ostarine, both times, damn show is. And then you have to follow the logic trail here. Test positive on 2 different days, for Mandralone and ostarine. Now, they're saying, according to 7-8 Sports TV, that they knew 3 weeks before that Ryan Garcia tested positive. Now, Devin Haney and them didn't know, right? But he's saying that there was a cover-up. And then follow that logically to Ryan Garcia saying that he only tested positive because he took ashwagandha. You know what I'm saying? So he knows that that B sample probably will also come back positive. Well, guess what? They're not going to give a fuck, right? Now, what they did do is they allowed a certain level of, what did Canelo get popped dirty for? Oh, I forgot what it is. I think it started with a C or something. Whatever it was, they allowed a certain amount in your system because of Canelo, right? Because, you know, Canelo, you know, they tailor boxing to Canelo. They create whole weight classes for Canelo, and you know, they allow you to. And who else in multiple people in Canelo's stable tested positive for substances. But you know, hey, now if Devin Haney tested positive, oh man, you know, the YouTube would blow up. The internet would collapse in on itself. But you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, y'all, I got to get into the job. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Devin Haney, man, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be all right, whatever happens, and hopefully you do get your zero back. Which, you know, that's not really the important thing. The important thing is if Ryan Garcia did indeed take performance enhancing drugs, you know, bless up to you surviving that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because something bad could have happened based on the enhancements, right? There's a reason they don't want you to take that shit. There's a reason that they ban those substances. Anyway, oh, what's up, man? Damn, it has been a long time, Jimmy. But I'm about to get off of here. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.